Hello, YouTube. It's Barbara Jean. I wanted to talk about some things that I've observed in the sky. Um, some recently, and others uh, from the past. But I thought would be interesting to talk about. I just want to read a quick Bible verse here, from the book of Luke 21, starting at verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when you see these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. Um, I wanted to talk about a few observations. I just some things that I've noticed. Uh, I don't know whether some of you have noticed these things, but they are things that I've noticed. And uh, I, I live in the Vancouver area, Vancouver, British Columbia area, Canada, and I have to tell you, I don't understand our clouds, our skies. I think we have some of the heaviest chemtrails on Earth. They chemtrail our skies in ways you wouldn't believe. Unbelievable heavy chemtrails. And it makes me wonder why, because we don't have a military base here. At least I don't think we do. And if we do, it's hidden pretty good under the mountains, probably. But even then, I mean, it's amazing how heavy they spray our skies here in Vancouver. Hundreds and hundreds of chemtrails every day. And it makes me wonder what in the heavens they're trying to hide. What are they trying to hide from us up there? Because it is unbelievable the amount of spray. I remember as a child watching the planes go come from the East Coast. They would fly over the mountains and fly towards the airport uh, near the coast. I would see them fly regularly, just in a straight line. You could see them flying over every few minutes towards the airport. And our skies aren't like that anymore. In fact, they deliberately changed the air traffic so that the planes are now flying instead of across a certain area when they're traveling east to west. They are now traveling directly over the skies and chemtrailing us. I don't know why they did that. Well, obviously they know why they did that, because they wanted to spray the skies as much as possible. And on top of which, they have planes crisscrossing, starting first thing in the morning, maybe about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, starting to spray our skies, hundreds and hundreds of chemtrails every day. And it makes me wonder, what are they hiding from us? What is up there that Vancouver should have to be so heavily sprayed? Anyway, something's going on. I wanted to talk about what happened a month ago. Um, let me just first talk about what happened a couple of years ago. As a sign in the sky that I observed of the sun, I had never seen happen before. Oh no, let me just go over here. The couple of years ago, I was driving to work. It was midsummer, I guess, um, and you know, early in the morning, maybe 7 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly, but excuse me, I got a bit of a cough going on. Um, I had just left the house, and I looked towards the horizon where the sun was above the horizon. And the sun, this was a couple of years ago now, mind you, 2.5 years ago. The sun was blood red. I had never, ever, ever seen a sun that was the color of a traffic light. You know what? You come up to a traffic stop light, and it's that bright tomato red. That's what the sun looked like. There was no clouds in the sky. The sun was above the horizon, quite a bit above the horizon at this time. And it was blood red, at least that color, but bright. It was at least that color red. And I had never seen anything like that in my whole life. In fact, I had to stop the car, and I sat there for about 10 minutes, and I didn't have unfortunately, I didn't have a camera, so I could have taken a picture at the time. And I've never seen it since. That color of a sun, and I was staring at it. I mean, I was looking directly at the sun for at least 10 minutes, observing this sun, and it wasn't affecting my eyes. How you can look at the sun, and of course you can't even look at it for more than a couple of seconds because of the brightness of it, and your eyes are affected. I mean, you can go blind from doing that. But I was sitting there in my car, watching the sun as it was above the horizon, not giving off much light, in fact, but it was blood red. And I thought I was the only one who's seen it. And I thought, am I the only one who's noticing these things? I did mention that at a party a few months later, how I'd seen this sun, and someone did mention that they had seen that sun. They had seen that same phenomena and how beautiful it was. And I thought, well, it was beautiful, but it was awfully strange. I'd never seen anything like that. Another thing I'm observing about the sun, there are some days, I don't know if you've noticed, there are some days when the sun seems like it's 2 or 3 times its normal size. I just think to myself, I don't remember ever seeing the sun look so huge, especially in winter. The sun is supposed to be farther away from us because the earth is tilted. But sometimes you look at the sun, it looks normal in size, and other times you look at it and it looks like it's closer than the moon. It's how huge it is. Just another observation. I don't know. I think there's something weird going on. And this happened about a month ago. I did a video a few months back about seeing a sun behind the clouds, or what appeared to be another sun, or there was this fog and light clouds and this ball that appeared to be the sun, but it was huge, that it wasn't giving off light. Well, I saw it again. This time, again, there were some clouds involved, but this was different. It was the same but different. This was about a month ago, and I wasn't sure whether I should mention it or not. But I have to, because it's on my mind and I can't stop thinking about it. This is what it was like. I was walking the dogs. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning back in January of 2014. And I was walking the dogs down the street and looking towards the horizon. And what I saw was so strange. I saw what I thought was the sun, but I thought, how could this be the sun? And I'll just show you what I saw. Okay. Let me try to explain it. This is a rooftop of a place. I was walking down the street, and to my left, towards the horizon, the east, there was a rooftop of a building, and here is a cloud bank. It was foggy. It was all foggy down here. The horizon, actually, it was somewhere around here, around the rooftop. Okay, and the sun was rising. Just remember, this is reversed. This is supposed to be on the other side right here, but it's okay. You know what I'm talking about. So here was this fog bank, and the sky was pretty much clear above the sun. And this fog bank was across this way. Now, if this was the sun, it was huge. It was huge. Again, it was like that full moon size sun. It was massive. And as I'm looking at this sun, what was really strange about it, it wasn't giving off any light. It was white, but there was no light rays coming from it. I looked behind me at the houses behind me, and there was no reflection on the windows of this from the sun. There should have been reflection of light on the windows, but there wasn't. And I stood there and looked at it for about 10 minutes. Now, this was the strange thing. It was well above the horizon, So it should have been blazing light at me. But it wasn't. It was like that Bible verse that said the sun shall be darkened. I stood there almost for a whole 10 minutes, holding back my dogs. My dogs were anxious to keep going, but I stood there and looked at this sun, and I closed my eyes every now and then just to make sure my eyes weren't being damaged by what I was looking at. But it barely registered the power of a light bulb. When you look at a light bulb, you close your eyes and you see these spots before your eyes. When I closed my eyes, I wasn't seeing any spots in my eyes. There was no um, harmful rays coming from this ball of white because there was no rays coming from it. There was a woman who walked down the street as she was heading towards the bus past me. And she was looking at me, and I said, "I'm just looking at the sun." And she just, "Oh, okay," well, walked right by. Didn't want to stop to hear what I had to say. But I was thinking, how can you not notice that there's something strange going on with the sun? Is this the sun? Is it the sun? I've never seen a sun that high above the clouds, above the horizon, and was able to stare at it for almost 10 whole minutes. After that happened, the clouds came up above the sun, or what I thought was the sun. Like I said, it was white and it was huge, but it wasn't giving off any rays. The cloud bank, I stood there for about 10 minutes looking at it. The cloud bank came up above it. And I continued on my walk, and I walked around the block and came back about 20 minutes later. And the sun then appeared, and it was full of light. And it was bouncing off the light of the houses and the windows, and it was doing the normal thing. But this wasn't normal. This was really odd, because it was clear, the fog bank, the sun above it, but it wasn't giving off any light. Very strange. Very, very strange. Just some odd things that I've been noticing about the sun lately. And the Lord said that we see signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Well, I had to make a video because it's been on my mind for over a month now, and I had to talk about it. So anyway, I think I'm going to let this go right now because I have some more things. I have some dreams that I wanted to talk about in my next video. But anyway, I'm just putting it out there. God bless.